Before applying the collar, ensure that the patient's head and neck are positioned in the neutral alignment. If the patient is in the supine position, stabilize the patient's head and slide the back panel of the collar behind the patient's head and neck. Ensure the back panel is centered evenly and that the loop straps are positioned evenly between the patient's trapezius and earlobe. Slide the front panel of the collar up the patient's neck and position the sides of the panel over the patient's trapezius. Position the front panel so that the bottom of the tracheal opening is just below the patient's sternal notch. It is acceptable if the patient's chin is not touching the chin pads. Before adjusting the collar height, ensure that the circular adjustment lock on the front of the collar frame is in the vertical and unlocked position. To adjust the collar height, pinch and hold the adjustment buttons on the front of the collar frame and lift the center of the collar chin support until the pads of the chin support cradle the patient's chin. If necessary, to avoid risk of hyperextension, the height adjustment can be made in reverse by holding the chin support touching the patient's chin first, and then pushing downward on the front frame of the collar until it is touching the patient's chest. Once the frame of the collar is set to the desired height, turn the circular adjustment lock a quarter turn to the horizontal position to lock the adjustment buttons and ensure patient compliance. If the height of the chin piece needs to be readjusted, unlock the adjustment lock by turning it a quarter turn to the vertical position, pinch and hold the adjustment buttons on the front of the collar, and push the chin support down to the lowest height setting, and repeat the adjustment steps. The front panel of the collar can be bent inward or flexed outward to provide an optimal fit for a variety of different patient anatomies. To achieve optimal fit, secure the back panel to the front panel of the collar by fastening the blue loop straps to the dark gray hook portions on each side of the front panel of the collar. Ensure a secure fit by ensuring that the chin pads do not extend more than a ½ inch beyond the patient's chin when fastened. To remove the padding from the front and back panels of the collar, detach the gray loop side of the padding from the hook on each panel. Pads can be washed in lukewarm water using mild detergent. The pads should be air-dried and replace pads when necessary.